Alright guys, so this week we did something that I never thought I'd actually do. And folks, I sold my Leica gear. I sold my 35mm Summicron and my Leica M2. Now, I will be talking about, why I made that choice and kind of what the plan is for the future, because I definitely want to get another Leica, but it's not the Leica you guys probably think I'm gonna get. But we'll get into that as we kind of make our way through the day. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal the next Leica camera that I'm gonna be purchasing. Alright, so it is packing day for the new zines, and we have 200 of them that we need to get signed, to get numbered, packed, and ready for shipment. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of hours. As you guys can see, we got some zines here. I'll maybe throw some gloves on, man, because I don't want to leave fingerprints. On the new zines, they are UV coated, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but sometimes you will get a little bit of like fingerprint marks, only if you look under light, just like right here. But so I will be using gloves just to make sure that, everything is nice and crisp for when you guys receive the zines. Now, so far, I've only scratched the surface. We've only gotten to kind of sign and date about 5 or 6 of these. So as we knock this out, I'll be talking to you guys about why I sold the Leica M2. Okay, so I guess let's start first with why I sold the camera in the first place. So you guys know the M2 was huge for me. It was the rangefinder that really got me, kind of hooked on the whole kind of run and gun shooting style. Even though it wasn't my first rangefinder camera, it was the one that made me realize that I wanted to use rangefinders for my street photography. So that was, just the first thing. The M2 for me was an absolutely amazing camera. Now, as of late, speaking more so from like the last maybe year or two, the M2 kind of got stale. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Of course, when you get cameras, at first you have that honeymoon phase and you're just super excited to shoot it, but later on, eventually that fades. And the M2 for me was just a very consistent camera. I never really had problems with it. I don't know, for like the last year of owning it, I just felt like it got a little stale. I wasn't really excited to go out and shoot with it. It was kind of really just sitting there. I was shooting a lot more with like the Pentax X7, the Nikon F3, and the Voigtlander itself. And so that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to sell the Leica M2. All right, box number 1. Like they even wrapped it like $100 bills. So, like I was saying, it just got a little stale. I wasn't really excited to go out and shoot with it anymore. That's kind of the first reason. Now, the second reason, honestly, is more so because of the frame lines. So the M2 has beautiful frame lines for the 35, the 50, and the 90. 90 or 75? I forgot, I never used those frame lines. But the thing is, I made a video recently talking about, what lens that I like to shoot nowadays, and I'm gravitating more towards a 28mm lens. And with the M2, the widest frame lines that you can have on there is a 35. And so initially I thought I could, kind of get over that, maybe buy an external viewfinder and call it a day. After all, it's a Leica. You put Leica lenses on it and you are going to get the same results. So I tried to shoot the 28 Voigtlander on my M2 and it just wasn't really working out for me. I felt like the frame lines were just a little bit too narrow. Even with the widest 35, you would have to use the entire frame as a viewfinder. And on top of that, having an external viewfinder means I would have to take off the light meter that I have on top. And you know, I can shoot Sunny 16, I can meter manually, that's perfectly fine. I don't really need the light meter, but it is nice to have in situations where I am indoors and maybe I am second guessing my exposure. So I would have to sacrifice a viewfinder for the light meter, which to me kind of really didn't make too much sense. So I ended up selling the M2, and my main camera right now is the Voigtlander Bessa R2A. For anybody that bought the zine, all of the images that were made in Monument Valley, Arizona, where did we go? Grand Canyon, Salt Lake City, just all of those locations, those were all made with the R2A and the 28mm combination. So you guys will be able to see that here soon. Oh, 13 out of 200, we got a long day. I'm actually planning to hit up some thrift stores after I do this, but I just want to kind of knock this out before we even get into anything else. So I'm going to do this really quick, get all of this signed, get all of it kind of pre-packed, and then I will kind of continue the story on when we go hit the thrift stores. So I'll see you guys in about 1 to 2 hours, maybe? I don't know. We'll see.
And that was
quiet, Draymond.
For us.
Whew. All right, a couple hours later, about an hour later, we've signed 183 of them. I don't know, we still kind of have a stack here going on, but I gotta wait till these dry before I put them in the sleeves and get them ready for shipment. But check this out, you guys. My hand, honestly, it's fine. It wasn't even that bad, but I was listening to like the Warriors game podcast and whatnot. This is Draymond's podcast, but we're getting it done. But I'm hungry right now. I'm gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna talk a little bit more about the whole Leica thing. All right, behind me is the post office, and we just finished up shipping 200 zines. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on 2.5 hours of sleep. I met up with Mike Padua this morning because he helped me print out all the labels. So big shout out to Mike Padua from Shoot Film Co. But as promised, I will be going to a couple of thrift stores to talk about why, or not why I sold Leica, but the Leicas that I do want to purchase in the future, and you know, kind of my decision around that stuff. So let's get in the car, let's go. I'm exhausted, but we're gonna make it happen one way or another. Let's go. Now that right there looks interesting. That does too. Looking good. Let's go see what this is. Yeah, that one. Looks like I lied. Alright, so in terms of the Leica cameras that I do want, starting off with the film Leica, I think for film Leicas, the one that I definitely want to try out is the M6. Maybe the one with the 0.72 viewfinder. And I don't know. I just like the M6 because, well, number one, it's pretty basic. Everyone has it. Alright, so the second camera that I would probably go for would be the Leica MP. Now, the MP is the one that I definitely want to get my hands on. If I can't find one, though, probably get an M6, but the MP is definitely the one that, you know, stands out to me more. With that said, we did find something here at the thrift. I'm not going to show the price tag because for me it's a little steep, but it might be worth it if it works out because it's in complete mint condition. But all right, check it out. Here it is. Mint condition though, so maybe that's why I'm considering it. But the Canon ML, look at that, 40mm 1.9, one of the fastest lenses on a small point and shoot. I'm a sucker for boxy cameras, and everything looks to be in really good condition. So I hope this one's not a bust because they're asking right here $40. So I don't know. We'll see what happens at the very end of this. Guys, I'm actually really torn because the AF35ML, man, it's in such good condition. I mean, just look at the front lens element on that bad boy. It's $40, so if it doesn't work, that'll be probably the biggest bust and loss, the biggest L I've gotten this year. So I don't know, man. I'll do another lap or two before we figure it out and decide, and then we'll see. All right, guys, so I think I finally made my decision on this bad boy right here. So I think I made my mind up already here. Let's just get it. I really hope this is the best.
Select a payment option. Thank you for shopping with us. Don't forget to take your receipt and your balance.
All right, you guys, so here is the moment of truth. We're going to be testing out the Canon ML. So I'm doing this as a voiceover because I didn't record any audio while I was filming. So here it is. We put some batteries in, and we're going to see what it looks like. So first things first, check out this front lens element. On a point and shoot, seeing a lens this big is a little bit weird because usually lenses are really tiny on point and shoot cameras, but on the ML, of course, it has to compensate for that huge 40mm 1.9 lens, and it is just gorgeous. You know, $40 for this camera honestly isn't a bad deal because it is in mint condition. I'm looking around and I'm not really seeing too many flaws. Honestly, none at all. There's barely any scratches that are noticeable, and honestly, it's probably worth every penny. So we're going to try to load some film up in here. This is right before we left for LA, and you guys will see later on, we did end up shooting the Canon ML the entire time. And so we got some film loaded up here and everything works properly. So super stoked about this find. And you guys will see soon the video from LA where I test out the Canon ML. All right, guys, so there you have it. There is the Canon ML. As you guys could see, the camera does work. I have some film loaded up in here right now, so I'm not really gonna fire off a shot, but I have a video coming up where it was just a weekend with the ML in LA, and I'm gonna be showing you guys the photographs and kind of how it performs. So if you guys want to see how this camera does, definitely stay tuned for that episode. But that's gonna wrap it up, you guys. Yeah, we thrifted a legendary point and shoot film camera. Honestly, this is one that has been on my bucket list for a while now, and I am just really glad that we, you know, can experience the camera and just shoot it on this channel. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, what videos you guys want to see surrounding this one. But that's gonna wrap it up for me this time. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, Minolta Gang.